Konbanwa pakusetachi. Yes, it is true. I am still alive. Proof of life video right here. I know it's been a really long time since I made a proper video, and I'll be honest, this isn't that video. The truth is that I am still quite sick, and I'm still fighting as hard as I possibly can to get well again so I can return to you at full strength and once again be the happy, healthy, and positive puppy that you all know and love. I wanted to record this video because I want to open up about a few things that are going on and just talk to you honestly about what I've been going through and what I have coming in the future, because it's pretty exciting, so I want you to get hype. First, yes, I am still trying to get my feet back under me again, and it has been a difficult process. The road to recovery for me has been something that has taken so much more of my energy than I ever could have possibly planned for. The reality is that I think I was a whole lot sicker than I tried to let people know. I kind of obscured the truth a little bit. My tendency is to try not to worry people. I don't actually really like being the center of attention, and I'm not crazy about pity. But yeah, I was actually in pretty bad condition, and it's been a heck of a ride trying to get myself back together again. I'm still trying, but we're still here. We're going to do this together because we are strong, and I have the support of some of the greatest people in the entire multiverse. Because things have been so rough for me, I've made the very, very tough decision to take a temporary leave of absence from the streaming platform Irium. I already miss it. I already miss the community there. I miss everyone. But the goal is that I hope, return to Irium in September. The fact is that due to the location of my surgery, my undercarriage, it's been really, really difficult for me to remain seated in a chair for long periods of time. When I work my big girl job as a translator and an interpreter, I have a pretty good setup that allows me to work and type and talk and attend meetings from a pretty reclined position, and that doesn't put a whole lot of strain on, stuff. But when it comes to streaming, I kind of feel like I really have to be locked in. Streaming requires a great deal of moving parts, and personally, my streaming setup is particularly complicated because I'm streaming into multiple mixers with multiple mics and multiple tracking cameras all at the same time. It's just not particularly easy to accomplish that, given the fact that I really can't, and honestly really shouldn't from a medical perspective, put pressure on my girl parts for more than like an hour at a time. Until I can sit for longer periods of time without bleeding, TMI, but the point is, I think stepping back for a few months is really for the best. Alright, enough about that. Let's talk about why you're here. You're here to learn Japanese, and I'm here to teach you. And so that's what we're going to focus on. Let me take you on a little journey. A journey called Puppy-Sensei's Road to Recovery. In November, everything is going to change on this channel. What do I mean by that? I mean that in November, I'm rolling out a brand new series. This series is going to replace my Word of the Day series. That might come as a huge surprise, but don't worry, because the Word of the Day series is being replaced with something that's similar but different, and, in my humble opinion, better. More about that in a moment. Because before I explain what's coming next, I want to explain what you can expect between now and November. To set up this explanation, let's really briefly talk about what has actually been going on with me. I'm going to run you through a quick timeline of my surgical troubles. You probably already know this, but in 2021 I had the surgery, bottom surgery, the trans surgery. You know, the one that makes all of the right-wingers shriek with their totally inaccurate quote-unquote science. Yeah, I had that surgery. And honestly, that was supposed to be the real beginning of my life. It was supposed to change everything. I had waited years and years to get that surgery, and as you may already know, it went poorly. Really poorly. Really, 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 really badly. Now, I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't. But the reality is that I ended up with massive complications, and in the end, I had to have a bunch of revisions, a bunch of extra surgeries, and they had to make the decision to close my neovaginal canal, which was devastating. They had to remove part of the musculature of my leg, and I had to have all of these surgeries on my puppy butt. It was genuinely just a wreck. Well, as a result of all of those complications, all of those surgeries, and all of the trauma that my body was put through thanks to all of this mess, I ended up with some additional related health issues that had to be addressed in a surgery that I had in March of this year. Well, that surgery, honestly, it was supposed to be super routine. It was supposed to be a very, very, very easy surgery. It was also supposed to be a quick recovery. They told me that I could probably return to work the same week I had the surgery. No. Sadly, of all of those surgeries that I've had in my life, including my initial surgery, recovering from this one has proven to be a slog. I have pretty consistent bleeding a lot of the time, really almost every day, and some of that bleeding leaves me in significant pain and honestly lightheaded from blood loss, and often even something as simple as trying to go to the grocery store leaves me so drained that I am completely shut down for the rest of the day. What I want more than anything else is to get back to regular content creation and, of course, streaming, but damn, y'all, it's not possible. My life has been completely changed once again due to that initial medical mistake that would not have happened if trans healthcare wasn't litigated into the dirt by bigots and bastards. Sorry, not sorry. And that's why I'm saying that for the next few months or so, you should probably expect fewer puppy streams. I hear you, but puppy, you'll hardly ever stream. How can you get fewer than none? No, I know. It's just, ever since my surgery in March, I have tried and tried and tried to start streaming again. I've tried to stream on Twitch. I've tried to stream on Irium. I keep saying that I really want to restart my streams. I keep saying that I really want to get back on a consistent schedule. I've even done some Japanese language lesson streams, and I really enjoyed those. I really appreciate the layout and the setup that I've created for those. I really want to keep those up. I really want to keep that momentum going. I am extremely excited to get back to streaming. But let's be honest, you and I both know I'm not ready. I have to forgive myself for that. I harbor a whole lot of guilt over the fact that I'm not ready. But I need to listen to my body, and right now my body says physical therapy, focus on battling my conditions so I can return 1,000 puppy power stronger than I am now, and actually get back to work. The important work, the teaching. I mean, heck, listen, it's summer anyway. You deserve the time off. So let's take the summer off of live stream lessons for now, and then we'll come back and hit the books in the new school year. Sound good? Sounds good. Okay. So as I, whoa, too much close up. Too much close up. Sorry. Okay, so as I said, my words of the day are going to continue until November, when I do a little bit of a content refresh. And honestly, in November, the thing that will be replacing the words of the day, it's really going to build on the work that we've already done in the words of the day, right? So it's not exactly like we're saying goodbye to the words of the day series. It's just sort of that it's restarting. It's a reset. It's a reboot. Let's do a words of the day reboot. Hold on. Okay, no, I'm doing this wrong, y'all. I'm doing all of this wrong. I'm not telling you that I'm going to start over from the beginning, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we're gonna hit reboot. We're gonna do the reboot thing. We're jumping on the reboot train. Anyway, whatever. It's not that the words of the day are going away. We're not saying goodbye to them. They're just going through a little bit of a transition. Haha! Trans girl joke. Very funny. But more important than that, since the content refresh is going to be happening in November, that's kind of perfect because it means that we get to spend Dogtober together again this year. And I'm going to go ahead and announce right now that the theme of this year's Dogtober is gonna be pirates! That's right. Soon you're going to see me don this new pirate hat. Look at it. It's so beautiful. I love it. And I'm going to guide you through Japanese vocabulary that's related to weapons, fighting, swashbuckling, forging, the forging of weapons, and general fistafluffs. I'm excited for this one, honestly. I'm really excited because, believe it or not, I don't actually know that many Japanese terms for weapons, and that means that I get to learn something too. As you probably already know, I love Halloween. It's a really special time of the year for me. I had a really difficult childhood, not just as a trans girl, but in general, I just happened to have a lot of trauma as a child. I went through a lot. And Halloween was the time of the year when I could escape all of these things that I was going through and become someone else. I could be the magical version of myself just for one day, the imagined version of me in my head that I always really wanted to be. And as I grew up, I started thinking about how sad it is that we limit that experience to just one day, just one night of trick-or-treating in which we get to be the magical, imagined version of ourselves. Why not a whole month? Halloween should be a season, a time of change, of transformation for both our Mother Earth and for ourselves as well. You know, the leaves are changing, and so we too should change and put on our costumes and be witches and mummies and vampires and pirates. So yeah, honestly, that's why I really, really look forward to Dogtober all year long. This pirate-themed project is something that I've been working on since January, and I really, really want this year to be something special. Let's get scurvy together. Wait, hold on. I don't think that's exactly what I meant to say. But you know what? Let's stick to it. I'm sticking with it. Let's get scurvy. So when I say that things on this channel are going to go through a pretty huge change in November, I'm not kidding. I have several really big projects that I'm working on right now. I've been putting a whole lot of work into them. We have some new art assets, we have some new backgrounds, we have some really, honestly, very, 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 very cool things and really big ideas, right? And I've been putting a whole lot of energy into that for a while behind the scenes. I know I haven't been streaming as much, but part of the reason is I have also been working on these new projects. And as I said, I'm super, super excited. I would love to talk about some of what I'm currently working on, but I can't. I'm under strict orders not to speak about any of it. But you know what? At least I can get you excited with some announcements. So, what kinds of stuff can you expect from me starting in November? I'm going to break this down into several pretty major announcements. Barking news right here, okay? First, big one. Not just one, but 2 new model debuts. Yep, it has never been done before. A world first double model reveal. Isn't that absolutely amazing? First time it's ever been done. But yeah, I'm going to be revealing 2 completely different, brand new Puppy-Sensei upgraded models at right around the same time. And these are actually really, really, really big changes. Long hair Puppy-Sensei? What? Why 2 new models? Well, that's actually a really great question. It's going to make a whole lot more sense when you see the projects that I'm working on, but what I can tell you is that there is a madness to my method, and everything that I'm doing has a purpose. I'll probably start dropping some promos for these 2 new models during Dogtober. Actually, I did the promos for my 2.5 model also during Dogtober, so it probably only makes sense that I start to unveil my 3.1 and 4.1 models at the same time. But let's maybe not make this an annual thing. I don't think that my wallet can handle a 3 model October 2027 debut. Unless... Oh, I got scolded. So let's briefly talk about what my new content starting in November is actually going to look like. I really, really don't want to spoil any surprises, but there is some stuff that I feel that I can talk about openly. The series that's going to be replacing my Words of the Day series will not be shorts. I'm instead switching to a model where I'll be putting out a short form video on YouTube every Monday through Friday. The goal of these videos is still to produce interesting but easily digestible Japanese lessons. Just like my Words of the Day series, each of these short form style videos will introduce a new vocabulary word, I'll talk about a few concepts related to that word, and of course, I'll be guiding you through the stroke order. I think these things are really important. If you're going to learn Japanese, you really, really do need to see new words, learn new words, and learn how to write them. Stroke order is more important than you think it is. It's really, really important to develop good habits when you're writing kanji. And so that's part of the reason why I have always made that an important part of my Words of the Day. That's not changing. I want my viewers to see a new Japanese word as often as possible. And the pithy little videos that I'm going to be making, they're going to be silly, gimmicky, fun to make, and most importantly, I hope that you will find them fun to watch. If learning a language isn't so fun that it's actually addictive, it's not gonna stick. So let's get you hooked on Japanese. One of the reasons I'm doing this content reset is because I've really been looking for a way to make these short vocabulary lessons feel a little bit more gamified. And I think I've found a way to do that in a way that feels satisfying without being too cringe. Okay, I admit it, it's very cringe, but cringe is culture and I'm here for it. But another reason that I'm doing this reset is because I really want to start doing live streams of Japanese teaching lessons. And what makes the most sense to me is to have those live streams, these teaching streams, the just chatting streams where I teach you Japanese, happen on the weekend. Weekend school? Yuck. No, I know. But I work weekdays, and plenty of the time I just don't have enough hours of the day available to go to work, translate and or interpret for 9 or 10 hours, and then make it home with enough time to lesson plan and stream, and also spend time with my spouse and do housework and cook and all of the other things that I need to do to just have an actual life. I mean, it's really not the same as playing a game. When I used to stream game streams more often, it was honestly kind of easy. I could just plop into a stream and go, 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 go. But I am committed to giving you a good Japanese education, and that commitment is so strong that I really want to give you good, high-quality lessons. For that reason, I can't exactly just like drop in and be like, all right, I'm gonna teach you something, right? I want to lesson plan. I want to create a good system where you're actually learning from me. And so, my perfect goal starting in November would be short form lessons focusing on vocabulary that will come out Monday through Friday. My hope is that they're going to get progressively more difficult through the week. So Monday should be a relatively easy day, and then Tuesday it'll get a little bit harder, and then Wednesday, and then by the time we make it to Friday, I'm really teaching you some really advanced, really high-level concepts. I think that that's a good system, right? So if you're brand new, make sure you're checking me out on Monday. And if you're preparing for the JLPT, maybe check out my Thursdays and Friday streams, right? Or not streams, but you know what I mean. Anyway, longer live streamed lessons on Saturday and also possible bonus lessons on Sunday will be for times when I feel up to it. And that's why I'm kind of changing this from a word of the day model where I put out one word every single day to a Monday through Friday model, right? We learn together on Monday through Friday, and then maybe we apply what we learn during the live streams on Saturdays and Sundays. Again, only if I feel up to it, right? Eventually, I would really like to bring back the grammar drops as well. Those were always really super fun for me. They were pretty easy to make, I enjoyed them, but if I do that, it's probably gonna have to be guerrilla style, not weekly. Pop-up grammar drops. Hey, that doesn't sound too bad. Write that down, write that down. Can I be entirely honest with you, Pakusetachi? This has been an incredibly difficult time in my life. It's not just the pain, and the pain is considerable. It's not just how busy I've been with my life and my recovery. It's not all of those health-related concerns that have made me feel a little bit depressed. It's that I miss you. I miss playing games with you. I miss streaming for you. I miss my friends. I miss my VTuber buddies. I miss collabs. A little bit. A little. Specific collabs. I miss you, Akitan. But, lately I really haven't felt locked in. And I want to lock the fuck in. But I can't. There are so many games that I would love to play for you. I really want to finally play Silent Hill F. I was so excited for that game, and then all of this happened and I couldn't play it. And there are a ton of new games and new things that I want to do with you too. I want to play more Pathfinder. I want to bring back Puppy-Sensei's Pathfinder Apocalypse. I loved that series. I loved working on it. It was great, but all in good time. We have to be patient. And for me, I really, really, really have to listen to my body and do what's best for me. You know, something's been on my mind lately. When you have to recover from surgery, you spend a lot of time alone. Spend a lot of time with your own thoughts. And I've been thinking a lot about who I want to be. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do with my life. For my case in particular, I've had to face my own mortality That's a scary thing to think about, but the truth is that I've come pretty close to death. And when that happens, it really forces you to put yourself into a totally different perspective. And as I've been thinking about myself, I came to realize that I don't want to be known as a VTuber who teaches Japanese. That's probably shocking for you to hear. The truth is that I want to be a Japanese teacher who just happens to be a VTuber and not the other way around. That's what I want to put my focus on. I want to teach you Japanese. When I'm well enough to stream regularly again, yeah, sure, I would love to play a game for you from time to time. But I want the emphasis of what I'm doing to be put entirely into my Japanese language content. That's why I got into the community in the first place. I didn't set out to be a VTuber. I set out to be a Japanese teacher. And doing it through the medium of VTubing just made the most sense to me. I'm committed to being a good teacher first and foremost. It was my first dream when I was a little girl. My very first dreams were that I could grow up to be a teacher. That's what I want to do. I love teaching. I love education. And who knows? Maybe you'll be seeing some big announcements about that in the coming months too. But a girl has to keep some of her secrets, right? So, honestly, that's it. To sum up everything, in October, check out my pirate-themed Dogtober series, where we're going to be learning a lot of weapon-related vocabulary. In November, content refresh / reboot with something new and mysterious, replacing the words of the day, along with a rare double model reveal. I'm very, very excited, and I wish I could show you, but like I said, all in good time. Patience, patience. Around that same time, fingers crossed that I'm going to be well enough that I can start doing weekend Japanese lesson live streams, and also maybe once a week gaming streams, depending on how things are going with my physical therapy by then. I want to say thank you all so much for being so understanding and supportive of me during this very difficult time in my life. We are going to get through this. I love you. We'll do it together. We are going to beat this. We're going to keep chasing our stars together. I'm not giving up on you, so please, don't give up on me. Until next time, 以上です。またね。